शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो नमः सद्गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः नमो नमः सद्गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि नामसङ्कीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपापप्रणाशनं मो दुःखशमनः तं नमामि हरिं परं यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपमतितीर्षतां तमोन्दं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससोनमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां योगीन्द्राय नमस्तस्मै शुकाय ब्रह्मरूपिणे संसारसर्पदष्टं यो विष्णुरातममुमुचत् कालव्यालमुखग्रास त्रासनिर्नाशहेतवे श्रीमद्भागवतं शास्त्रं कलौ क्षीरेण भाषितम् एतस्मात् परं किञ्चिन् मनःशुद्ध्यै न विद्यते जन्मान्तरे भवेत् पुण्यं तदा भागवतं लभेत् ज्ञानवैराग्यसम्पूर्णान् हरिभक्तिपरायणान् पूर्वाचार्यातहं वन्दे सम्प्रदायप्रवर्तकान् भगवन्नाम साम्राज्य लक्ष्मी सर्वस्वविग्रहं श्रीमद्बोधेन्द्रयोगीन्द्र देशिकेन्द्रमुपास्महे कलिकालोचितं धर्मं नाम सङ्कीर्तनामकं निर्णेतुमवतीर्णं तं प्रेमिकं सद्गुरुं भजे हरे रामेति कृष्णेति नाम सङ्कीर्तनः सदा लोकक्षेमाय कुर्वन्तं प्रेमिकं सद्गुरुं भजे जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र सर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोजितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् श्रीमद्भागवताख्योऽयं प्रत्यक्षः कृष्ण एव हि स्वीकृतोऽसि मया नाथ मुक्त्यर्थं भवसागरे मनोरथो मदीयोऽयं सफलः सर्वदा त्वया निर्विघ्नेनैव कर्तव्यो दासोऽहं तव केशव सर्वत्र गोविन्दनाम संकीर्तनं गोविन्द गोविन्द गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द नारायण अखिल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते श्री हरये नमः. So we were looking at Srimad Bhagavata Puranam and we had initially started with the Mahatmya. So first three chapters of Mahatmya we had already seen, and we start with the fourth story that is there, which revolves around Atmadeva. Now Atmadeva was the name of a Brahmana. Can all of you hear me? Yes? Okay. So now we had seen, now the first three chapters revolved around the story of Bhakti Devi, her two sons Jnana, Vairagya. Now chapter 4 that is there talks about a person called Atmadeva. Now Suta he began again, and he said that, now previously we also saw how Sanat Kumaras, Narada, and so on, they talked about the Saptaha Paranam, which is done. The method of reciting Bhagavatam, how even chanting a quarter or so is very, very auspicious, and so on. So, this story also we had seen. This Upadesha that was given, this is also seen in chapter 3 of the Mahatmya. Now, chapter 4 talks about the story of a Brahmana called Atmadeva. Now, here, what happens is, now the initial part of this chapter seems that Sutta just talks that devotion to the Lord is very, very auspicious. Thinking the Lord in the form one wearing Pitamaram yellow color clothes with a flute in his hand, Tishanka, Chakra, Gada, lotus, and so on. Such a form is very auspicious. And the Lord who manifests himself in um, such a form in front of his devotees, either in temples or in our photos, or maybe in our minds also, such people are very, very auspicious. Such experiences are very auspicious, and such devotees are quite blessed. This is what Sutta concludes. And he says that we have also heard how the Bhagavata Parayanam should be done within a span of 7 days. Now, after hearing all this, it seems that there the next question which pops in was what kind of individuals become happy or they get kind of peace, solace also after listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is explained. Now this story was asked by Suta and the Kumaras, the four Sanat Kumaras, they continue with their explanation. They go ahead saying that those who are continuously doing all kinds of sinful deeds that are there now, including you and me, knowingly unknowingly we do so many good things, we commit so many mistakes and so on, but there is a point of time when we realize that okay, what I'm doing is wrong. But even if we don't realize, at least this feeling of realization comes in our mind that oh, all these years I was doing something, it was wrong. This thought or this realization also that comes to our mind, we have to be thankful to the Lord, right? There are so many things we do, okay, many of us, what we are doing, we don't even know that it is wrong, or in spite of knowing it is wrong, we don't agree, right? We don't realize, we don't accept that okay, what I'm doing is wrong, I should not do this henceforth. But the feeling, this thought that comes to our mind that okay, till date I'm doing something wrong, but at least today onwards let me improve, this also, this feeling, this thought also should come to our mind. If it comes, for that also it is, we have to be thankful to the Lord. It is the grace of the Lord only. So here what happens is, there are in fact people who commit all kinds of sins, people who don't speak the truth, people who do, the greatest of sins, like maybe killing a Brahmana, stealing gold, getting physical with someone else's partner, and so on. Even such sins also go away just by merely listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. Further now, the Kumaras tell that, we will also tell you an old legend that is there, and wherein sins, to prove that sins are destroyed by merely thinking of the Lord, and merely even listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. Just 1 minute, hold on. Yeah. So one, it seems that there was a Brahmana called Atmadeva who lived in a village, and he was a great scholar of the Vedas. He had mastered all the topics, and as per the Shrutis, Smritis, also he used to do his daily ablutions, perform a lot of rites and rituals, and so on. Now, though rich, also his wife was called Dunduli. His wife was Dunduli, but the only problem that she had was she always had this habit of ruling over her husband. That is, whatever he did, in fact, what he said was also correct. But still, she used to have, now some people have this, right? Only what I say, what I do is only correct. Rest everything is wrong. So this behavior this Dunduli had, apart from that, she was very good. But it seems that she was a bit cruel in nature. She used to indulge in a lot of gossip that is there. From here you hear something, you go and tell that somewhere else. From there, you listen to a different thing. You add your own imagination, tell that to someone. So all this that is there. Then speaking lies, one was very rude, cruel also. So Dunduli's nature was this way. But this couple were then they used to live together affectionately. Of course, occasionally some quarrels used to happen between them, but otherwise both of them used to live happily together. They had enough wealth also, enough money to satisfy their desires, to lead a good life. So everything was going about good. Now, once it so happened that all such things were there, but still they were not happy, it seems. That is, they were not getting peace of mind. So, later, once they became older, so now usually it happens with all of us also, right? Once you become old, maybe you attain a particular age, at that time, maybe many things we realize. Oh, now at least maybe I'll do some dharma karya. I'll go to various pilgrimage visits also. I'll visit a lot of temples. I'll contribute for social causes. Maybe such thoughts do not come at a younger age, but later in life, maybe we realize that, okay, I should have done this, I should have done that, and so on. what happened? So both this couple, Atmadeva and Dunduli, they decided to do a lot of dharmic activities. Maybe give a lot in dhanam, help others, help needy people, and so on. Both of them they started doing. They started gifting cows, land, gold, and so on. And in this manner, whatever they had earned in their life, they started spending on doing all these good deeds. But in spite, now the problem which this couple had was they were not blessed with children. So that was their main, you can say, one reason why they were unhappy. So in spite of doing all such good things also, they were not blessed with a son or a daughter. Now, this made Armadeva very sad. And one day thinking about all this, he left the house and he went to the forest. And he went thirsty, he felt thirsty in between and there was a water body nearby, he drank water from there. And because now whenever grief is there, at that time we don't know, we don't feel like eating, we don't feel like drinking and so on. So he had become very lean and thin and he just sat down. Now, after one muhurta, now this reference comes here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, verse number 25, chapter 4, Bhagavata Mahatmya. नत्वा च पादयोस् दृष्ट्वापि इतजनं तं तो विप्रो यातस्तदन्तिकं नत्वा च पादयोस्तस्य निःश्वसन् संस्थितः पुरः. Verse 24, मुहूर्तादपि तत्रैव सन्न्यासी कश्चिदागतः. Muhurtam. Now, muhurtam in normal times it means something auspicious. We do things at an auspicious muhurta, we say. But actually, muhurtam, as per Srimad Bhagavatam and time measurement of Bharata Desha, it means 48 minutes exactly is one muhurta. So here with so much of, you can say, exact numerical value something has been given. It tells that after a muhurta also a brahmana comes there. A sannyasi comes there to meet this person, Atmadeva. And as usual when he came there, Atmadeva bows down to him and so on. And the sannyasi says, why are you so sad? What happened to you? And so on. You tell me what has happened. So at that time he starts talking about his dukkha, saying that I've done. Now here the Brahmana, he is a part like us, like Atmadeva. Atmadeva is like one amongst us. And he tells, I don't know where to start from. Where my sorrows will start, I don't know. Like us, right? If someone asks you why you're sad, don't ask, we say, right? Don't ask, it literally means is, there are so many things I don't know where to start telling you, right? The same thing as someone asks, why are you so happy? You say, no, something happened, so I'm happy. So this is of course human nature, nothing to blame. So Atmadeva also does the same thing. He tells, I don't know from where I should start, how I should describe, and so on. I don't know what kind of sins I've done in my previous lives, but it seems that whatever I do, so many offerings are given, God, Brahmanas, my own ancestors, none of them, they don't accept anything. None of my prayers are answered. I don't know what's happening with me, and so on. In fact, the cow also that I have, that also has turned barren. It is also not giving me any milk. So this is the kind of life I am living today. But still, I don't know what to do. You only know. Please advise me what has to be done. And saying all this, he started weeping and he started crying in front of the sannyasi. The sannyasi assured him, saying that you don't have to worry always. You don't have to cry for everything. So sannyasi says that first of all, he tells that this longing that you have, that I want a child also, you first give up that. If you are blessed with kids, it is okay. But if you are not blessed with kids, maybe there is some reason behind it. So you don't have to weep for that at all. Because he says that it is in one's own destiny. Now, for this, if you go deeper in explanation, sometimes it might happen. Now, a child is born to you, right? But if the child is of no use, or maybe the child goes on the evil path or so, people say it is always better that I don't have kids, right? So, in such a case, or maybe the child is not born normally or something like that. So, in such situations, what happens is now, normally, in the sense, of course, now that is not in our hands. We should not look at someone with disabilities this way. But the thing is, if a child has to go on the evil path and be born in that way, instead of that, we always feel that okay, it's better than I don't have kids. Right? So whatever the God blesses now, that's the reason why some people are blessed with a kid maybe a year after marriage. Some people are blessed maybe 5 years, 10 years also. So you just sit and simply start cursing your destiny. It's never in your hands. Right? So the sannyasi also gives the same explanation to Atmadeva, saying that nothing is in your hands now. You are no one to decide. When the right time comes, things will happen. If something you are not blessed with, maybe there is a better reason for that. You please accept and understand that. And he tells that I am a person now. This sannyasi who was there, he had good knowledge of Jyotisha Shastra. So he tells that I have looked upon, I have had an overview of your destiny, and I know that for the next 7 births you will not be blessed. You will not be blessed with a son at all. So don't worry. And It is that you alone are not alone. You alone are not suffering this kind of agony. In the past, kings like Sagara and Anga, famous Anga Yasha king who is there, and Sagara, the ancestor of Rama, they also had to do this. They also were aching, you can say, for crying aloud for being blessed with children, but they also were not blessed with kids. So you don't have to worry about all this. Therefore, you give up all this sorrow and the hope of having a family and so on. There is happiness even in sannyasa. See, I am a sannyasi, I have given up everything. So you can be happy wherever you want. A son is not always necessary, a daughter is not always necessary to make things happen. Now, Brahmana, he tells that how come sannyasa or how come viveka? Viveka means good buddhi. How will that help me alone? Uh, he tells no, but this Atmadeva was also very adamant. He says all these things will not help me. You are a sannyasi, for you things are okay, but for me it is not at all okay. So now somehow you use your powers or something, you bless me with a son, that's it. And the only thing which is there in life is to have a family surrounded with sons, grandsons, family members, and so on. Apart from that, there is no meaning to life. This is what Atmadeva was feeling. And so in this continuously, this way, sage, the sannyasi still put in effort. He started explaining Atmadeva, but everything was in vain. Again, Atmadeva used to put his point. So like this, lot of conversation took place. Finally, now what happened is the sage, he tells that I will listen to you. And saying so, the Brahman, the sannyasi who was there, he gives a fruit to Atmadeva and tells that you give this fruit to your wife also. It will help in conception. So here, always remember, doesn't mean that the wife ate the fruit and she got pregnant or something. It's not at all so. This will just be, you can say, it will help in the process of conception. Just as in the Ramayana also, Dasharatha gave the payasa to his three wives. That doesn't mean that immediately they eat the payasa and they become pregnant also. No, it just helps in the process of conceiving. That's right. The efforts which you have to put in remain the same. Right? So we should not consider that such things are magical also. Just as a very simple thing, for our desires to be fulfilled, you go to temples, do different kinds of things. Right? Someone tells you do puja, someone tells go to this temple, light a lamp, someone tells go to that temple, do this dhanam, this and that. We do, right? Maybe you do 10 things. Out of that, maybe all 9 things fail, one thing happens. So what we conclude, oh, I did this thing, so now this is happening. All other 9 things are useless. Right? So that the one thing which made your wish fulfilled or which made us happy doesn't mean that because of that thing only this has happened. It is just boosted. It's just a belief that is there. So similarly, here also this fruit, payasa and so on. Or maybe you can say if you go to doctors also for treatments also, they will give you maybe some pills or they will tell you some kind of treatment. So then we believe, and then later if the one conceives, we believe that okay, because of this treatment, because of this medicine that I was eating, maybe things worked out. That doesn't mean that the same treatment or the same pill, you can tablet, you can tell someone else, you also eat, you will also conceive easily. It is not like that. So always remember, whenever our scriptures say, we should not look that something is just magical or so. The queens of Dasharatha consumed Payasa, Rama was born. It's not magical. Right? There is a proper process which even human beings follow, gods follow. For everyone, the process is same. So here also, the sannyasi gave the fruit to Atmadeva and tells that it will help in conceiving. And the Atmadeva, what he does is, he gives the fruit to his wife, Dunduli. But now the sage, he put a condition. He said that for 1 year your wife should practice, you can say, truthfulness, adharma, charity, and so on, all good things she should do. And she should have meals also consisting only of cereals, that too once a day. So like upavasa, vrata, and so on. By doing so, a good son will be blessed to her. Now what happened is, saying so, the sannyasi went away. Atmadeva also comes home. He gives a fruit to his wife, and she was, as usual, we know her nature. She was very crooked, right? A lot of into gossip, this and that. So she now goes and tells her female friends that now if I consume this fruit also, it will help me in conception. Then I'll get a big belly. I have to suffer all the trauma of pregnancy, this and that, that pain, all that I'm not able to endure. So now what to do? But at the same time, she tells that it will make me weak. I have to do all kinds of work, this and that. The pangs of childbirth, vyatha, are also very, very severe. So all such things she keeps on complaining. Finally, what happens is, here she goes to an extent of talking, you can say, beyond. Now some people talk more than what's expected, right? So she tells that if I become in this way, maybe if I'm not there in a strong physical condition or so, at that time my wife's sister will come and take away all the belongings of our house, this and that, and so on. So like this, she keeps on thinking and complaining of things. So now she tells that here Atmadeva's wife Dunduli makes a statement, verse number 49. Lalane palane dukkam prasutayashcha vartate vandyava vidava nari sukhine cheti me matihi. She makes a very absurd statement saying that a woman who is barren or who has lost her husband, such a woman is only a happy woman. So this, of course, she was telling this in her close woman circle only amongst her friends, but this was a statement which will definitely hurt any other woman or any other man also. Like this, she kept on arguing, and she did not eat the fruit at all, which Atmadeva had given her. But her husband asked if she had taken, and she replied, "Yes, I've already eaten it." So one day, what happened is Dunduli's sister she comes to their house, and Dunduli told everything to her and tells that I'm greatly worried. I've told my husband I've eaten, but actually I've not eaten. I've kept the fruit safely. And now what should I do? The sister tells that I'm about to conceive also, and what I will do is when a child is born to me, I will give that to you. Till then, you pretend that you are pregnant or so, you try to showcase in some way and you stay in the house comfortably. Now, here also, Dunduli's sister was still prudent. She tells that you give some money to my husband because later the sister's husband will also ask, right? You're pregnant, then where's your child? So then what you do is you also act in a very treacherous manner. You give some money to my husband and I'll sell the child to you. So now looking at all these stories can be disturbing. But today we have certain topics which come in like human trafficking, right? Human trafficking, this term comes, right? People for the sake of money also they end up even selling children, right? So this such things were seen even in those times also. And why all this is spoken about in Srimad Bhagavatam is to talk that people can do sins to any levels, even sins of this extent that is there, but still listening to Srimad Bhagavatam can change everything. So that's all. Let's continue with the story. So like this, all this happens. Now again, the next problem. Now you give the child, that is not enough, right? But the child needs milk. From where will I bring milk? Dunduli said. So her sister says, no, for the first 6 months or so, every day I'll come to your house and I will nurse the child. So don't worry about that. For now, what you do is you give the fruit to the cow to eat. Let the cow eat. And the woman also, Dunduli, she agreed. And she ended up giving the fruit to the cow. Now, further, what happened is a child was born to the sister, and as usual, she Dundri gave some money to her husband, and the child was returned back to Dundri. Now, Dundri informed Atmadeva that her child is born. All were happy that a son was born to Atmadeva. The Jata Karma, everything was performed out of musical instruments were being played, and so on. Now, Dundali, she tells her husband that I don't have any milk with me, which I can give to the child. So let me call my sister who is there. And she has recently given birth to a child, but her child died. So Dunduli lies all this. And therefore, let me call her anyway. She will have milk, so let her nurse the child. And this way, what happens is, for protecting her son also, she, that is the Atmadeva who was there, he agrees for everything. He says, okay, if this is not there, you call your sister, whatever you want to do, you do, but ensure that my child is taken care of. Because the child was born to Atmadeva after many, many years. So he assures and tells Dunduli that it's your responsibility to just take care of the child. How you do it, that's in your hands. So now finally what happens is the mother Dunduli who was there, she named that child as Dundukari. That's how the birth of Dundukari takes place. But now what happens is 3 months later, the cow was given the fruit, it also gives birth to a calf. Now, here, and surprisingly, it gave birth to a human child. Now, how this is possible? Now, it was due to the yogic powers of the sage. The fruit was meant for a human being to consume, right? So, very simple example I'll give you. Uh, Usually, when a dog bite or things like that takes place, I'm just giving you so that there is no place for any doubt. A dog bite or so takes place, if the treatment is not done well in time, it's said that the person, the human being, also starts behaving or barking like a dog also. Now, how far this is true, I don't know. But if for a particular disease or so, if a particular medicine is prescribed, we have to consume that only. Similarly, for a particular problem, if you have one solution that is told, and instead of that you end up doing something else, the consequences or the side effects are more, right? You eat a medicine also, maybe it doesn't suit you. How you come to know it doesn't suit you? There are many side effects, right? So similarly, the fruit which was given by the sannyasi was meant for a human being, for Dunduli to give birth to a child, but unfortunately she does not do that, and she ends up giving that to a cow also. So therefore, you should not wonder that how the cow ate and then a human child was born. It's because you can consider as a side effect, a concept like that, and also due to the divine powers of the sage. But of course, some cow's quality was also there. That's why the karna, the ears of the cow were like the ears of the child were like a cow. That's how the boy was named as Gokarna, one having cow-like ears. Right? Now, here the child that was there was well built, it shone like gold and so on. Now, Atmadeva was very happy. He said that I prayed to the Lord once and now not with one son. The Lord has blessed me with two children now. And everyone was also happy. And everyone tells that this Atmadeva is such a great soul that even the cow also has blessed him with a son. So like this, everyone was quite surprised and so on. Now slowly both the boys, Gokarna and Dundukari, both of them grew up. And Gokarna was very much learned, wise, a very good child. Dundukari was very much wicked, that is there. He was angry, he had all kinds of evil things, he used to do negative nature and so on. So a very dangerous person. In fact, he used to go to the extent of picking up small kids and throwing them into the well, things like that. So Dundukari was a very, very evil character who was there. But now, what happened is he used to went to the extent of even stealing the utensils from their house. He went on to trouble his parents. He went and engaged with women belonging to other people, or you can say married women who are already engaged with someone, and so on. So all kinds of evil deeds, you name it, and all that Dundukari was doing. Now, thus what happened is he went to the extent of selling his own father's property also. Now everything was totally lost. And now once that everything was lost, Atmadeva, he cries out, saying that it is always better, or it was always better, that I will not have children at all, that my wife Dunduli should not have born children. The same advice which the sannyasi had given before. That if something is there in your destiny, it will definitely happen. If you are not being blessed with a child, that means that also is destiny, only accept that. At that time, Atmadeva does not listen. He keeps on wailing. Family is only Sukha, that is there. I want to be blessed with sons and grandsons. Now that a son like Dundukari is born, Atmadeva is realizing, oh, it is better that Dunduli would have remained issueless. And he keeps on crying and lamenting now. But now there is no use. And he says, it is better that no son is born than a evil son like Dundukari. Where should I live? What should I go? I've lost my property, this and that. Now, at that time, what happened? This Gokarna, he comes there. And he realizes what all happened. And he tells that this Gokarna was very much wise. He had all the knowledge of the scriptures. So he advises father, saying that nothing is permanent in this world. So therefore, you don't have to lament this wealth, son. Nothing belongs to you. It is very temporary. Just as in the morning, also few of us were discussing this birth that is there. Okay, for this human life of average 100 years lifespan, I'm being born to a particular set of parents. I am being around a particular set of people. The minute I die, it's gone. Next birth, again, nobody is from this birth is going to come along with me. Even if someone comes along, also I will not even remember, right? Because we don't have the ability of remembering our past lives. So everything is just for a very small, short period of time. So here, Gokarna tells his father that don't worry about things like that. Everything will come and it will go. Don't even think that Dundukari is your son because it is just for a very temporary period. That's it. And he advises Atmadeva that now your life is about to end, you have grown old, you kindly resort to Vanaprastha and Sannyasashrama, you retire to the forest and live in solace, that's it. So, hearing the words of Gokarna, Atmadeva decides to go to the forest and he asks his son. Now, a father is asking his son that what should I do in the forest? I don't know what will happen. I'm a person who's always, you can say, I'll be affectionate, I'll get attracted towards things and so on. So, at that time, Gokarna says that you give up the feeling that you have this body of flesh, bones also. Don't be attracted with people around you. Don't be attached also. You just establish bhakti towards the Lord. You continuously remember the names of the Lord. You wait for saintly persons, for sages to come and meet you. And while you do all this, you will start enjoying the bhakti that you do. There will be no place for any kind of gossip, right? Now, whenever I'll give you a very simple example for this. Now, all this might seem to be something which is okay. What can I do from this? It's a very good story to listen. That's it. Beyond that, what is our learning? How you can apply it in our lives is, does it mean that I leave everything and go to the forest? It's not at all so. Very simple thing is there are going to be distractions. There are going to be all kinds of people around us. We ourselves we never know. We also love to indulge in gossips, this and that. All that is okay. But how to be free from all this? This is the main question, right? There are so many distractions. How can I free myself? Okay, I'll ask this question to you. There are so many distractions, it becomes very difficult, right, to concentrate or maybe do th- do things of our choice, or maybe not be free from worries. Worries also come and attack us. But how do you keep yourself free then? Or you don't stop. Now there are worries, there are going to be distractions, all kinds of problems, worries, everything is there. But how do you keep yourself happy then? Anyone? So maybe 1 hour now you come and listen. Huh. Correct. Huh. Correct. So she rightly said that maybe there are worries and things like that. But maybe on the spiritual path, you go and do things like now all of you have come. Maybe 1 hour you come and you listen. What I say, you understand. You like, you don't like. You come, you listen, you go. Maybe some shlokas we learn together. You like that. So like this, some amount of your time you spend. What else? Anyone? How do you divert yourselves? Or how do you be free from distractions? There are going to be distractions, right? We cannot help that. No one? By praying to God. Bhakti. Okay. What else? Hmm. Busy. Correct. So you keep yourself busy in maybe contributing to others and so on. So coming back, all your answers are correct. So maybe if you see when we do all such things that are there. So some of you, it can be now for all age groups, it's okay. Seniors, juniors, whatever it is, you do something good. So maybe few of us you feel that okay, I'll do some kind of bhakti that is there. I'll go on the spiritual path. I'll chant the names of the Lord. I'll listen to his stories, and thus maybe for that particular time you're busy. Say for example, you take the example of our own classes that are there. So in a day maybe about an hour, or sometimes if there are two or more classes, maybe on Sunday also, 2 hours or so you're busy. Right? 2 3 hours you're busy. So you come, you listen, you go. So at that time you're doing something productive, you listen to something, you learn something, you go back, right? So at that time maybe you are free from all other uh, distractions and worries that are there. Apart from that, maybe as she rightly said, Hamsaji, she said that no, maybe we give back to the society whatever little we can. Maybe I learn something that I like. Maybe you cook food for someone, or you cook food for yourself and you do. So basically, what we try to do is we find things which we can do which make us positive, right? Or which make us busy, so that there is no time to concentrate upon all other things that are there. There is no time for gossips. When do gossips build in, or when are we affected by distractions and worries? Is when we have time, right? The thing, whenever you keep yourself busy in doing all such things, there is no time to even think about such things. When you have nothing to do, at that time, okay, let me on the TV and see what is happening. Now on the TV, oh, someone is killing someone, someone is fighting for someone, the same thing you are affected, right? So like this, there are small, I'm just giving you an example. But when we keep ourselves busy in doing, it need not be only spiritual things. It can be anything out of, everyone will have your own personal choice. Maybe someone likes to uh, maybe do something like help for a social cause. Someone likes drawing, painting also. Someone maybe likes to chant. Someone you like to go and maybe travel also. Someone likes to just go. So you see people, what they do when they're sad, maybe they listen to music. Or sometimes when people are sad, they go outside for a walk or so. Or when you're sad, maybe you call someone, you speak to them. So let's not only talk only spiritual things. It can be anything, right? So maybe that for that particular time you're free. So the point is we keep ourselves busy in doing things that are good and also spiritual, when you listening to the stories of the Lord, chanting his names, and so on. So, this is the learning from this chapter, from the fourth chapter of the Bhagavata Mahatmyam, that indulge in doing things which are good, which are positive, so that there is no time for all other things that are there. Gokarna also gives the same advice to Atmadeva. You were not blessed with a son, you were unhappy. Now that you are blessed with a son, again you are unhappy. So life will have its own twists and turns. Now is the time you realize what is good for you. You go to the forest, you focus on bhakti alone, that itself will help you. By listening to the son's advice, at Atmadeva, he finally goes to the forest. Although he was a man of 60 then, he was still on the wrong path of life. Wrong side of 60, it is mentioned. That means, evam sutokti vashato vigraham vihaya yato vanam sthiramatir gata shashti varshaha. So almost you can say More than half of his life was spent in worrying this and that. Yukto hareranudinam paricharyayasau Shri Krishnamapaniyadam dashamasya pathat. But what he did was, he was a man of firm determination. Oh, I am 60 now again. He did not start wailing. I have wasted more than half of my life. What should I do? What should I do? He did not waste his time now. He had firm determination. What he did was, day and night, he started chanting. You can say he started remembering the names of the Lord, of Lord Krishna. He indulged himself in service of Sri Hari and he attained Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna Mapa. He attained the realm of Sri Krishna, it seems, by regularly reading Skanda 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam. युक्तो हरेरनुदिनं परिचर्ययासौ श्रीकृष्णमापनियतं दशमस्य पाठात्. So by continuously engage in reading the Dashamaskandam of Srimad Bhagavatam, Atmadeva attained mukti. So this with this chapter 4 comes to an end. This shows that how much ever worries are coming in life, life is something wherein today we feel okay, I need that one thing, it will make me very happy. Maybe the same thing can make me sad tomorrow. So everything is temporary. But today maybe all of us we are coming together. Tomorrow we never know what will happen. Of course, we must pray to the God that it always exists. But things that make us happy today can make us sad tomorrow. Things which we feel are not needed for us today maybe will be in need tomorrow. So we never know what is there. Life is very much unpredictable. So Gokarna says, now that everything has happened, now that you are in the state of confusion, the only way is surrender and bhakti towards the Lord, Sharanagati. This is what Atmadeva does in the last days of his life, and that's how he attained Krishna. Next is the Panchamodhyaya, fifth chapter. Now what happens is, now what further happened to Gokarna? Let us see. Okay, till here, could everyone follow? Yes? Okay. Okay. Now Gokarna, what he did was, now that Atmadeva had gone to the forest, Atmadeva goes alone. Right? Now here, when Atmadeva was going, he went all alone. Now Dunduli was still there. Now Dundukari, her son who was there, what he was doing is, he started troubling his mother a lot. He started beating her, this and that, and so on, and telling that you give me money, this, everything. So he started ill-treating his mother. And doing all this, what happened? This Dunduli, she was very much fed up with the actions of her son, and she ended up jumping into a well, it seems, and that's how she gave her life. And Gokarna, what happened is, Gokarna knew all this, but he was a one who did not experience any kind of sorrow, joy at all. He had no enemy, no friend. So, like a recluse, he was living like a sage. Now, Dundukari, it seems that he lived in the house with about five other girls who were there, five prostitutes, you can call. And now, what happened is, those girls were living along with him, those women who were there. So, he had to fetch for all those women also, but he didn't have any kind of money, nor he had any kind of work also that he can earn money and do. So therefore, life was very, now when a person does not have money, automatically he'll go to any extent, right? Now, fortunately, we are all blessed, and we don't have to do such things. And even if we have troubling times, also maybe the Lord does not, or rather, the Lord should not take us to wrong deeds. But this is what even thieves do, right? Like why a robber does also. Like you take the story of Valmiki. In his previous life, not previous life, previously he was a thief, a Ratnakara. So that's when Narada, he tries to teach him a lesson. He tells that go and ask your family. Now all this robbing, you're robbing things from people, you're stealing things, you're going to attain a lot of papa karma. You're going to get a lot of sins. You're going to incur sins by doing all these wrong deeds. Are your family members willing to share that with you? You're saying that I'm doing all this for the sake of my family. So Ratnakara says, yes, definitely they will come and share. Narada says, you first go and check with your family, check with your parents, your wife, your children, that will they have a share in your papa karma. Wife refused. She goes and asks his family. All of them refuse. They tell that it is your duty, it is your responsibility to take care of your family. We didn't tell you that you have to steal, right? It is your decision you have taken of stealing. Why should we share the papa karma? That is when Ratnakara comes and he realizes that what he was doing was wrong. That's when he had. Could all of you hear? Audible. Acha, by mistake, I think I put it on mute for a second. Okay. Yeah. So I was telling about Ratnakara Valmiki. So that's when finally Ratnakara he realizes that, oh, what I'm doing this, and I was feeling very proud that my family will share, I'm doing everything for my family, but ultimately they are also not going to do anything. And they have clearly denied that we are not going to share anything in the Papa Karma that you have incurred. So this is a realization. So doing something for the sake of money is one's own decision. How you earn money, how you fetch for your family is your decision that is there. So, but in the case of Dundukari, he had not done any kind of work also. But he had to fetch for those five ladies who were staying with him. So now what happened is one of the women who were there. Now, obviously, if there are going to be five ladies in one house with one man, those ladies also you can consider, you can imagine what kind of level and mindset they will have. They decided to steal whatever little ornaments or so was there in the house. And this woman who was there, what they thought was, or these women, that this man who has come here, whatever little he has today, everything he has stolen from somewhere or something like that. Nothing he has earned from his hard money. So one fine day, what is going to happen is the king of this land is going to come and put this Dundukari behind bars. At the time, what are we going to do? Anyways, we are going to lose him, right? So let us do one thing. We'll all end up killing this Dundukari only. So this was the state of Dundukari that was there. That all the ladies who were there with him, whom he felt that they were living of their own accord or so, they only brought about his own end. And now what happened is they tied him and then they tried to burn him and so on. And finally, Dundukari he expired. But now what happened is they now nobody should know, right, that Dundukari is dead. So they had dug a pit also and in that they buried Dundukari. Now nobody knew about this and a lot of people started questioning and so on, but nothing people could know. And that's when what happened is all the wealth that was there, which they had, whatever Dundukari had stolen from here and there, they took all that and they went away. So Dundukari, all the final rites were not done properly. So therefore, now though the body was dead, the soul, the spirit that was there inside Dundukari, it started roaming about here and there. So that's when it assumed the form of a whirlwind, or you can say like what we say an atma, right? So spirit, and Dundukari was running about here and there. And wherever now Gokarna did not knew about the news of Dundukari. Later, he realized that his brother had also died. So that's when what he does was, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll go on various pilgrimage places. I'll go to Gaya also and perform the Shraddha Karma of this person of my brother Dundukari. So that's when he goes to Gaya to perform the Shraddha. अनाथं तं विदित्वैव गया श्राद्धमचीकरत् यस्मिन् तीर्थे तु संयाति तत्र श्राद्धमवर्तयत्. So roaming here and there, finally Gokarna comes to this town and he just sleeps in a particular, you can say, the courtyard of a house or so. Courtyard, or you can say the outskirts of an house. That's when Dundukari, in the form of a spirit, he comes near Vaikunta, comes near Gokarna. And now this Dundukari, it seems that he was a spirit, right? So he used to just come in any form. It seems he came like a ram, ram, an animal, an elephant. So a very dangerous form you can consider. And Gokarna said that what happened? Who are you? And so on. Why are you coming? That too during night time. You're coming in such a frightful form. What has happened? And so on. Are you are you some spirit or some rakshasa? Who are you? Gokarna asks. So at that time, what happens is the spirit actually he cries at the top of his voice, but a spirit cannot speak. It's not a human being, right? So though it was speaking, we could not hear. So that's when what happens is now Gokarna understood this. He took some water, he sprinkles, he chants some mantras also, and then throws it on top of that spirit from where he actually could see the spirit. And that's when the spirit, Preta Uvach, that's when the soul it starts speaking. It said that I'm none other than your own brother Dundukari. I've killed many men also, therefore I've attained this situation that is there in life. I have to move about here and there. I don't know what to do. I'm just rushing here and there. I'm not getting peace at all. Gokarna said that I've already done Pindadanam, Gaya Pindo Maya Dattaha. In Gaya, I've already done Pindadanam for you. So, therefore, in spite of that, also, you have not been liberated. So, just imagine the amount of evil karma this Dundukari has done. And he said that I don't think that there is no other remedy. Beyond Gaya Shraddham, there is nothing. That's the reason in our houses also, when Shraddha Karma is done, not everyone can go to Gaya to do their Shraddham, though it should be done once in a lifetime, one must go. So that's the reason the priest will say Gaya Shraddham, Gaya Shraddham, Gaya Shraddham thrice, saying that the Shraddha which we do in our one's own house, the phala is equal to the Shraddha which is done in Gaya. But now Gokarna said nothing beyond this. I don't think there is any other remedy. So that at that time the preta, the body of Dundukari soul, tells that even if you do hundreds of shraddhas at Gaya, still I don't think I will attain mukti. Now you think of some other remedy. So Gokarna, he tells that what can I do? If hundreds of shraddhas also I do, you'll not attain mukti, then there is no solution at all, right? And listening to all this, he tells that I will, wherever you are, you just stay there. I'll think of some remedy and I'll let you know. And once it so happened that Gokarna was thinking about this the same thing the whole night. And Gokarna, he went to Gaya. He was on a tour to various pilgrimage places. He met a lot of learned souls also. So he asked all of them that how can a person who, in spite of doing Shraddha at Gaya, still not attaining Mukti? So is there any other way? And so like this, he starts questioning. Now they said that maybe you can do something to the sun god, and maybe that can also be considered as a way. And maybe the sun god can advise you in some way. Now the sun god, he spoke, he tells that mukti will follow from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Gokarna, sun god himself tells Gokarna, Surya Bhagavan tells that this your brother Gokarna, Dundukari will attain moksha by if he follows Srimad Bhagavatam. You give a complete reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam in a week or so. This should be done. If you do this, then it will be easy also to. And Gokarna immediately, he takes the Srimad Bhagavatam, he starts reading. And from all parts of the country, men came there to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. And it seems that there, Pangvanda, Vriddhamandashtra, people who are, you can say, they're crippled, they have some kind of handicap, those who were blind, those who were aged, they didn't know what to do. All kinds of people also came there. And once he started, it seems that the spirit of Dundukari also arrived there, and he wanted a seat to sit. But now, where will a spirit sit? So he saw a bamboo there nearby, a bamboo stick, and inside the bamboo there were 7 holes, it seems. And entering from the hollow of the bamboo, he went inside, he settled there, and he cannot remain fixed. Right? It's a spirit, so obviously it's going to move about here and there. Preta, we say Atma goes about, runs here and there. Right? So it cannot stay in one place continuously. It used to keep moving. So it cannot stay in air for a long time. That's the reason it goes inside the bamboo. Now Gokarna starts speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam, and every day it seems that towards the end there were 7 joints in the bamboo. One of the joints every day used to break. So day one, first joint used to break. So day two, second joint used to break, and so on. So like this, every day the 7 joints of the bamboo in 7 days or so, all of them they burst open. After hearing all the 12 skandhas of Srimad Bhagavatam. And now what happened is the spirit of the Dundukari appeared in a very, you can say, a very auspicious form, wearing yellow clothes, lot of tulsi beads in his hand, a divine dark brown form, and so on. And now here what happened is, now out of that, okay, now the form which came out was not actually the spirit of Dindukari, it was actually, you can consider, a form of Lord Vishnu only. And that, so the form which was there, it was a spirit of Dundukari, but it looked like Lord Vishnu only. That is what is considered here. And he goes and he greets his brother Gokarna and tells that, out of compassion, you did this Srimad Bhagavata Parayanam for me, and that's the reason I got this form which is equal to Lord Vishnu, and as a reason, I'm going to attain the realm of Krishna only. And thus it is said that, in fact, now here with this is how Dundukari got moksha by listening to the stories of Srimad Bhagavatam. A line is told in Srimad Bhagavatam Mahatmyam, verse 56, chapter 5. Asmin vai bharate varshe suryabhirdeva samsadi akhata shravinam pumsam nishphalam janma kirtitam. It is said that the people who are born in Bharatavarsha, if their birth has taken place in this land, and if they fail to listen or hear to the stories of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is useless. Life itself is useless. You are just a barren. Janani Vritha, we say. Janani Janma Vritha or Janani Dukkha Bhaja, we say. That is, you are just born to give the pangs or pains of labor to your mother. Apart from that, there is no use to your birth. This is what in some references it is said. And therefore, what happened is, there is no use of this body at all, because this body that is there, once upon, just as Shankaracharya also highlights in Shema Bhajagovindam, we have got this body, but the minute life inside the soul goes away, so this was how, why this is told is because of the preta of Dindukari. If soul inside the body goes away, the physical body starts rotting, right? That's, you cannot keep it for more than a day or so. starts smelling, it starts rotting. That's the reason immediately the funeral has to take place. That too, if a person is ill or sick for many days, immediately we do the final rites. Right? Why it is done is because we cannot keep the body for long. So this is our existence that is there. There is no use to this body at all if the soul or atma is not there. So the atma which is there inside is very very important. That will be purified by listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, and it brings Sri Hari between one's own reach. It seems. Saptaha Shravana Loke Prayate Nikate Harihi. So therefore, the least that all of us can do is wherever there is a Srimad Bhagavata Saptaham near our places, we must definitely go there, be it a Paranam, be it a Pravachanam, whatever it is. Now, if there is a Saptaham, obviously you will have both, right? Paranam, Pravachanam, but we must never miss, right? This because this is the least that all of us in Kali Yuga can do. You get an opportunity in spite of that also, if you don't go, that is in your Ajnanam, your evil karma, we can say, nothing beyond that. Srimad Bhagavata Mahatmyam itself highlights Asmin Vai Bharate Varshe. If you do that, if you are born in this land of Bharata, if you fail to listen to the stories, it is as if your birth itself is fruitless. You are just born to give labor pangs to your mother. Apart from that, there is no purpose. The Bhagavatam itself highlights this. Then on that, in that occasion, what happens is people from Vaikuntha, they come down to carry the spirit of Dundukari. And you might be imagining Dundukari was such an evil man that is there. But in spite of that also he attained mukti because of the one thing that he did was listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. So now here you will feel that okay, I'll also do all kinds of sins also, and then I'll purposely sit and listen 1 week for Srimad Bhagavatam. Paran. This we can do, but that thought should come in our mind, right? Okay, somewhere Srimad Bhagavatam is being told, I should go and listen. This thought also which comes to our mind is due to the grace of the Lord. If the thought doesn't come, if you don't feel like going, everything is useless, right? I don't feel like going, it's okay, what? I'll have so many other things to do, or why should I go and listen? If such thoughts come, in the case of Dindukari, surely he would have done some good karma in his previous births or so. That's the reason he got this realization that what I've done till now is wrong. Now at least I should go, I should seek the help of my brother Gokarna. I should ask him what should be done to attain moksha. And he got this thought in his mind. This thought was also given by the Lord. So, learning from all this, the good karma which we do today, many people will say, right, I chant prayers, I do pujas, but I don't see any good results. The results will be seen at the right time. So if today, maybe today what you do, you just keep doing things as a part of your daily prayers. 10 years later, 15 years later, maybe you'll have a big danger that might come in. Like in the case of Dundukari. If the thought had not come that I'll not go and seek the help of Gokarna, maybe Gokarna would have never told him Srimad Bhagavatam, the sun god would have not told Gokarna, and maybe till date the ghost of Dundukari would be going about here and there. But because the Lord blessed him with the good thought of asking that at this time what I should do, I should go and listen to the stories of Srimad Bhagavatam. From where this thought came in the mind of Dindukari is due to some kind of karma which he would have done, maybe not in this birth, but in the previous births. So this is how the Lord helps, including all of us also. Maybe now you might imagine, you might feel, I am not doing sins like Dundukari. We might not be doing sins like Dundukari, but definitely we have our own sets of worries also. So when things like this happen, nothing ever goes waste. The Lord helps us in ways which we don't even know, and we are saved in so many situations. So the same thing here comes, and Vishnu Dutas come down, they take Dundukari in the aerial car. Finally, what happens is, Gokarna, he tells that there are many other people also who have listened to this exposition of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he asks the Haridasas who are there that there are so many other people, but you took only Dundukari here in the car. So everyone is also listened, right, sincerely. So you should take all of them to Vaikuntham then. So at that time, Haridasas they tell that though it has been heard by everyone, it has not been reflected or absorbed. Some people were listening maybe physically, but mentally they were not present here at all. So whereas Dundukari was listening with whole and soul, that's the reason the aerial car was given to him, and he has gone to Vaikuntham. And for 7 days or so, Dundukari was not consuming any kind of food, drink, and so on. Continuously, he was just concentrating fully on Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, he has got this phalam of going to Vaikuntham. So, this faith that is there, this bhakti, which Dundukari had after Gokarna advised him, helped him in attaining Vaikuntha, whereas all others, still that time has not come. Maybe they will have to listen to many more Saptahams that are there. That's the reason why it doesn't happen that, okay, once I do something, goodness will come. Maybe the way that you did was not that perfect. Next time you can do it still nicely, right? So this is the story of Gokarna and Bindukari. Further, what happens is the Gokarna still he doesn't stop here in the month of Shravana also. Again, talks about Srimad Bhagavatam, and here it seems that in the same procedure. First he did again in the month of Shravana, roughly in the month of July, August or so. The same thing Gokarna did. At that time, Haridasas, the Dasa, the servants of Hari, came down in aerial cars to take all the devotees with him. And Sri Hari himself gave a form. He came in a form similar to his own, blessed all the devotees. And it is mentioned that just as अयोध्यावासिनः पूर्वं यथा रामेण सङ्गताः तथा कृष्णेन ते नीता गोलोकं योगि दुर्लभम्. Just as the people of Ayodhya followed Rama while he attained Vaikuntham, similarly, all these devotees who were there after listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, they all went to Golokam. And thus, here, finally, the Haridasas conclude that what should we talk about the phalam of Srimad Bhagavatam? Even a single letter of Srimad Bhagavatam given by Gokarna, if that was also heard by the audiences there, none of them even returned to a mother's womb. That is, they were all free from rebirth, it seems. People undoubtedly, it is mentioned here in Srimad Bhagavatam, योगैश्च संयान्ति नतां गतिं वै सप्ताहगाथा श्रवणेन यान्ति याम् इतिहासमिमं पुण्यं शाण्डिल्योऽपि मुनीश्वरः पठते चित्रकूटस्थो ब्रह्मानन्दपरिप्लुतः. One who listens to Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days without fail, he will attain Vaikuntham, that is there. And this, the mukti or the happiness that you attain by listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, that will not be attained even by doing all the hardest, you can say the most difficult of all austerities, maybe not consuming food, not consuming water, this and that. In fact, in Chitrakuta also, the great sage Shandilya also had done that. He had read the story, it seems, what we discussed about Gokarna and Dundukari, and that's how he attained Brahman or he attained Samadhi. So, like this, one Sandhya ji or someone had asked this question, right? Can we read? I don't know who had asked. You had asked this, right? But I think you had asked Narayaniam or Bhagavatam. Narayan. So usually Narayaniam is not read because Narayaniam, if you see, is read on auspicious occasions. But you personally, you don't have to read. Maybe you can listen to that. That's okay. But here it is mentioned here. Shraddhe payuktam pitrutriptim avahe nityam supathat apunarbhavancha. One who reads Srimad Bhagavatam, especially this story that is there on the occasion of a Shraddha also, all our ancestors also they attain happiness. So not the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, maybe chapter 5 of Srimad Bhagavata Mahatmyam can be read. And if read carefully every day, one will be free from rebirth. So with this, chapter 5 comes to an end. Only one chapter of Srimad Bhagavata Mahatmyam remains, that is chapter 6, which just talks about the procedure of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So theoretical chapter, we look at that next week and we start with actual Srimad Bhagavata Purana. Yeah. So for today we will stop here. We continue next week.